Most families have at least one significant secret, hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. These secrets can be small or monumental, but they always leave a mark, shaping the way family members interact, even if no one speaks of them aloud. We picture families as open books, but often there are chapters intentionally left unread. Sometimes, the most important stories are the ones that remain tucked away, never shared, their pages gathering dust in the corners of memory. These secrets aren't always malicious. Sometimes they're born from love, a need to protect. Parents may hide painful truths to shield their children, or siblings may keep quiet to avoid causing pain. The intention is often to preserve happiness, even if it means carrying a quiet burden. But the weight of a secret can shape a family, becoming a silent presence that influences everything. It lingers in the air, coloring conversations and decisions, sometimes even creating distance where there should be closeness. For the Fletcher family, a secret planted decades ago was about to break through the silence. What was once hidden away, locked in the past, was now on the verge of being discovered, threatening to change everything they thought they knew. They seemed ordinary, a nice house, happy memories, a life everyone thought they understood. To neighbors and friends, the Fletchers were the picture of togetherness, their laughter echoing through the halls of their home. But beneath it all was a truth powerful enough to unravel everything. The cracks in their perfect image were invisible, but they ran deep, threatening to surface at any moment. This is the story of that secret, and the day it finally came to light. When the past can no longer be contained, the truth demands to be heard, no matter the cost. The emotional toll of silence is real. It builds invisible walls between those who should be closest. Unspoken words and hidden truths can create a loneliness that is hard to name, but impossible to ignore. For the Fletchers, the secret was about to test the very foundation of their family. As the truth emerged, they would have to decide whether to let it tear them apart or bring them closer together than ever before. The Fletchers lived on Maple Street, the picture of suburban stability. Tom, a gentle history teacher, and Sarah, a compassionate nurse, raised two children, Leo and Mia. Leo, 22, was the responsible one, steady, thoughtful, protective. Mia, 19, was his opposite, creative, impulsive, and fiercely curious. Their differences ran deep. Leo valued order and protection. Mia believed truth was always better than a lie. The family photo on the mantel showed 4 smiling faces, but it didn't capture the late-night worries or the secret they all shared. On the surface, everything was perfect. But the real story was hidden behind closed doors. The secret shaped their lives in ways even they didn't fully understand. The unraveling began on a crisp autumn Saturday. While clearing the attic, Mia discovered a small wooden chest filled with old letters addressed to her mother, Sarah. The letters, over 20 years old, spoke of a baby, a difficult pregnancy, and a secret adoption between friends. The writer was Eleanor, Sarah's college friend. Mia realized with a shock that the letter was about her. Tom and Sarah, the only parents she'd ever known, were not her biological parents. The foundation of her identity crumbled in that dusty attic. Every memory, every "I love you," suddenly felt different. She was not a Fletcher by blood. She was the family's secret. The truth, hidden for so long, had finally surfaced. The family portrait downstairs now seemed like a carefully constructed illusion. Mia's world would never be the same. Mia, shaken, retreated to her room and called her brother, Leo. She poured out what she'd found, her voice trembling. But Leo's response stunned her. "I know." The betrayal cut deep. Her brother had known all along. The secret wasn't just her parents'. It was Leo's, too. The family was now divided. Mia, desperate for answers, and her parents, clinging to their protective silence. Leo, caught in the middle, sided with their parents, believing the truth would only bring pain. He'd carried the burden since he was 16, sworn to secrecy. The lines were drawn: truth versus protection, pain versus peace. The family's unity was shattered. The secret had become a wedge between them all. That evening, the confrontation erupted in the kitchen, a place that had always been the heart of the home. But tonight the air was thick with tension, and every word seemed to echo off the walls. Mia placed the letter on the table, her hand trembling as she demanded answers, her voice cutting through the uneasy silence. Sarah, pale and shaken, tried to explain, her words faltering. "We did it to protect you. We thought it was for the best, even if it meant keeping secrets. We loved you from the start," she insisted, her eyes pleading for understanding, hoping Mia could see the love behind the choices they made. Tom added, his voice steady but heavy with regret, "Knowing wouldn't have changed our love. We only wanted to protect you from pain. We wanted your life to be simple, happy," he said, reaching out, but unsure if his words could mend what was broken. But Mia saw it differently, her voice rising with hurt. "It wasn't your choice to make. You lied to me. You and Leo. You took away my right to know the truth." Leo, standing by the doorway, finally spoke, his words quiet but firm. "I did it for them, for us. I thought I was protecting everyone. To keep this family together," he said, his voice barely above a whisper, as if afraid the truth might shatter what little remained. The kitchen, once a place of warmth and laughter, became a battleground of love, betrayal, and conflicting truths, each person fighting to be heard and understood. The family's carefully constructed peace was gone, replaced by a silence that felt heavier than any words. Every word revealed years of fear, love, and misunderstanding, unraveling the stories they had told themselves to survive. The truth was out, but it brought no relief, only more questions and a sense of loss that settled over them all. Instead, it deepened the wounds, leaving everyone feeling more alone than before, even as they stood together. The family was left raw, exposed, and uncertain, each person struggling to process what had just been revealed. The silence that once protected them now threatened to tear them apart, as if the very foundation of their family had cracked. The cost of the secret was finally clear, and the path forward was uncertain for them all. In the aftermath, Sarah told Mia the whole story. She spoke of her friendship with Eleanor, the loss of her own baby, and Eleanor's desperate situation. The secret adoption was a pact made out of love and heartbreak. Tom described the day they brought Mia home, the instant love they felt. "You were our daughter from that second on," he said. Hiding the truth became a daily choice, reinforced over 19 years. Leo was told as a teen, sworn to secrecy to protect Mia. The confession revealed a family shaped by love, loss, and fear. There were no villains, only people trying to do what they thought was right. The truth didn't heal the Fletchers overnight. The house was filled with strained silence. Mia moved into the guest room, barely speaking to her family. She grieved for the life she thought she had, and for the parents she thought she knew. Tom and Sarah, racked with regret, wondered if they'd made a terrible mistake. Leo felt torn, guilty for his silence, resentful of Mia's anger. The trust that once bound them was broken. Mia felt compelled to find Eleanor, to understand her own story. The family was lost, each member struggling to redefine what family meant. The truth had brought chaos, not clarity. They all faced the painful task of rebuilding from the wreckage. Healing came slowly, in small moments, gentle gestures, quiet conversations, and the silent comfort of being together. The family learned to sit with their pain, letting it soften over time, rather than trying to erase it. With her parents' blessing, Mia set out to find Eleanor, carrying both hope and uncertainty in her heart. It was a journey she knew she had to take, not just for answers, but for her own peace. The meeting was emotional, filled with tears and tentative smiles, but it gave Mia the missing piece of her story she'd always longed for. In Eleanor's embrace, she found both comfort and clarity. Eleanor explained her reasons, echoing what Tom and Sarah had said, but adding her own regrets and hopes. She spoke honestly, and Mia listened, finally hearing the truth from every side. For Mia, it wasn't about finding a new mother, but understanding her own beginnings, piecing together the story of who she was and why things happened the way they did. When she returned, something had shifted. Her anger softened into understanding, and the walls she'd built began to crumble. She saw her home with new eyes, grateful for the love that had always been there. She saw her parents as people who made a complicated choice out of love, not malice. Their vulnerability made her realize how much they had risked to protect her. Family, she realized, is more than blood. It's love, commitment, and showing up for each other, even when things are hard. It's the willingness to forgive, to listen, and to grow together. The Fletchers were changed, but not destroyed. Their foundation had cracked, but it was rebuilt, stronger and more honest than before. Their relationships, though harder, became more honest and real. They learned to speak openly, to share their fears and hopes, and to accept each other's flaws. Mia and Leo slowly rebuilt their bond, step by step, rediscovering the trust that had once been lost. The secret had forced them to redefine family and made their love stronger, more resilient, and more real than ever before. The perfect portrait was gone, but what remained was more resilient, a family that had weathered the storm and found new strength in each other. The Fletcher's story reminds us that truth and love are often tangled. Good people make hard choices, sometimes with painful consequences. Their journey shows the fragility of trust and the resilience of the human heart. Every family has hidden chapters, stories that shape who we are. Sharing these stories can heal, connect, and help us understand ourselves and each other. What truths have shaped your family? By exploring them, we grow in empathy and honesty. Subscribe for more stories that reveal the heart of what it means to be family.